Hello, my dear students. I, Hina Kausar, welcome you for my today's session. We had finished in the last session meaning of primary group and characteristics of primary group. Today we are going to learn more about the secondary group. We'll do the introduction, that is meaning and definition for the today's session. So let's begin the today's session. We'll understand the meaning. The secondary groups are of special significance in modern industrial society. They have become almost inevitable today. Their appearance is mainly due to the growing cultural complexity. Secondary groups may be defined as those associations which are characterized by impersonal or secondary relations and specialization of functions. K. Davis says that the secondary groups can be roughly defined as the opposite of everything already said about primary groups. They are also called special interest group or self-interest groups. The example of secondary groups include a city, a nation, a political party, corporation, labor union, an army, a large crowd, etc. These groups have no direct bearing on the members. Your members are too many and too scattered. Your human contacts are superficial, undefined, and mechanical. We'll quickly see some definitions of secondary group. Different sociologists have defined secondary group in different ways. So some of the definitions are given here. First, according to C.H. Cooley, secondary groups are wholly lacking in intimacy of association and usually in most of the other primary and quasi-primary characteristics. According to Cooley, we can understand from this definition that, like, if you remember, we had done the primary group. We have found that in the primary group, the members having intimate, emotional, loving, sympathetic relationship. So you can find that it is opposite. In the secondary group, we are lacking those intimacy, which we have generally found in the primary group. Okay. Next definition is of Ogburn and Nimkov, who says that the groups which provide experience lacking in intimacy are called secondary groups. Okay, so according to Ogburn and Nimkov again, here the individual which lacking the intimacy is called a secondary group. Means no face-to-face relation, no contacts, no one kind of we feeling we are having here. It is in distance also, you can say, where in the distance we lack the intimacy. Next, according to Kingsley Davis, secondary groups can be roughly defined as the opposite of everything said about primary group. So as what I said earlier also, if you want to remember the secondary group definition, just it is very much opposite of the primary group. Where in the primary group we have learned it is small in size, secondary group it's not, primary group is intimate, close proximity, face to face, but secondary group is not. So this is the definition says that it is very much opposite to the primary group. Next definition we are having, that is of Robert Bisteds, says secondary groups are all those that they are not primary. Like we are maintaining the relationship in the group, in the society, individual they decide by their choice with whom they want to be in relation voluntarily. They are having that kind of secondary group which is voluntary in nature. Involuntary means the family, the primary group. where the individual is very much in contact with one another. They're having that kind of bond which is lacking in the secondary groups. Therefore, it is not primary. Next, we'll understand the importance of secondary group. So, the secondary groups occupy a dominant place in modern civilized and industrial society. That means that we are finding numbers of secondary group in the society currently because we are living in the modern civilized industrial society. But as the society expands, demanding more and more division of labor and specialization of functions, the large scale secondary groups become necessary. In place of cottage industry, we have now grand corporation employing thousands of people. Population has moved from the village to the city. The changing trends of modern society have swept away primary groups. Man now depends more on secondary groups for his needs. So we can briefly conclude the session that importance of secondary group. We have understood that it is very much opposite of the primary group. It is having not having any kind of intimate relationship. Here we are having this secondary group around us because we are living in the modern society, and we are having this secondary group which is expanding every day. Why? Because we are having number of specialization coming up in the job market, in the industry. More division of labor is possible around us. Large scale secondary groups is there, and cottage industry, the small level industry, is being replaced by the grand corporations. Thousands of people are there working for the industries, and population is again moving. So we are basically leaving the primary group, we are moving from the rural area to the urban area basically. That means the individual, they're leaving their family behind and working. So here the last statement says that we have swept away the primary groups and we are basically today dependent on secondary groups. So today's individual also in the society, they don't need family, they don't want to be with the family, but they are focusing on their career, they are focusing on their work. They want to earn more, they want to be independent, they want to have a luxurious life. So basically from where they will get? They will get from the secondary group. So this is the thing you have to understand, that how there is again the importance of secondary group in the life of an individual, and this is what the changing trend of the modern society, that how modern society we are much more dependent on the secondary group as compared to the primary group. So this is all for the today's session, students. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have learned so much from this video. I will explain to you the characteristics of secondary group in the next session. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.